Hello, welcome to Brimwood Farm. It is the end of April, which means one thing, I can finally get my sweet peas out. So earlier in the year I sowed two types of sweet peas and I've been growing them on and snipping them back ever since. I did two types. So the first type I did was Arthur Hellier. It's a lovely sort of white bloom with a sort of slightly purplish pinkish tint. And then the other one is Jeff Hughes, which is this beautiful pink colour. And they work well on their own, but they also work well in a bunch, which is why I thought I'd just grow these two varieties. Now, one slight thing was, as normal, I didn't label, and one pot hardly came up at all, so I'll show you. So these are the two pots of sweet peas. You can see they're very straggled over now. I have been pinching them back, which literally just means when they get to this sort of height, snipping this out. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm snipping this out, and then from that shoot two come. So whereas you would normally have one shoot coming all the way out from the bottom, you can see here on this plant, if I can get to it, here. So instead of having one stem, I've got two stems here where I've pinched it out, and then I've pinched it out again here, and then it's got another two stems, and you end up with a multi-stemmed plant. But back to the varieties. So I sowed one variety per pot, and what happened was one pot came up great gusto, every single seed came up. The other pot, only two came up. So I then re-sowed, but because I hadn't labelled them, I didn't know what variety. So when these come into flower, I will either have a lot of Jeff Hughes or I will have a lot of Arthur Hellier, and it will be until flowering that we find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split these in half. So I'm going to have 4 stations for these plants, and I'm going to put them in now. Now, we shouldn't have another frost because it's the end of April. If we do, if there's a hint of one, I will run out and cover these up. But these have been growing on in the lean-to, which isn't heated. So although they've been protected from frost, they haven't been protected from the temperatures, so they should be fine to come out now. I've also just been joined by 2 doggies. Right, so let's go on and plant. So first things first, we need to just empty this pot and break it apart. Now, they don't really like their roots being tapped with too much, but you can see there's a nice root ball here, and I just want to split this into 2 groups. So okay, so there's an obvious division, and we will just break down the line. Easy. Now, as ever, I'm trying to hide this fence. You could use a lovely pergola to grow them up, or you could get one of the stands that goes in the middle of your borders, like a pyramid or a nice cone. But I'm going to be growing them up these old yew sticks, and hopefully they will scramble up here, then they'll get to the trellis, and then they'll whiz along and hopefully, sort of, as always, hide this hideous thing. So I'm going to be planting down there. Let's just clear away some of these allium leaves, which are going crazy. And there's a nice little penstemon baby in here. So, sweet peas like a lot of food and a lot of water. So make sure you water it really well. Also, if you're putting them in a partially shady patch, such as this, towards the back of the bed, just try and make sure when they're first starting out that you've cleared the foliage from around the base so they can still get another light. I've made that mistake in the past of shoving them, because they're climbers, shoving them at the back of the bed in the hopes that they come up, and there's just too much stuff in front of them and they can't compete. So make sure they have got a bit of room, because they will quickly then shoot up, and then the other stuff in front will fill out. They won't need a vast amount of tying in, if at all, but just while they're getting started, it's worthwhile helping them a little bit. And that's 1 done, 3 to go. So that's it, they're out. It feels really good to be finally putting more tender things into the garden because it means the weather has warmed up. So I will see you again on Monday for a Monday Magic. Have a fantastic weekend and I will see you again soon. Bye.